We're back. And the true story behind your death will finally come to light. And also this video is banned in China. Because we said the words Hong Kong and protest in the same sentence, so unfortunate. Yeah. Haha, who goes to China for vacations? Ah, ha, ha, ha. Ah. Victim's corpse within the locked cabin. If he tripped and died, how would he have time to write that in Russian? But it said he didn't bleed out. It said his death was immediate. Was apparently immediate cause was trauma to the neck and spine. Yeah, he was just playing a little bit, and then he just happened to slip, fall, and his hands fell in that exact position. In that case, show me your so-called evidence that proves the death of the victim was not just an accident. No traces of violence or poison. This. It's clearly shown in this photograph. Yeah, it would have been impossible for him to write at. What if he learned Russian? Yeah, what if he learned Russian? Because the dying message was apparently in Russian, his killer had to be a Russian person. Because he doesn't know Russian. Ins Instant death from trauma to the cervical vertebrae. In other words, he could not have written those words after falling to the floor. Also, he doesn't know Russian. Traces of the scene contradict an accidental death. Really? Another piece of evidence that proves it wasn't just an accident. Really? There's another one?
Russia be like.
This? I don't actually know what to present here. Nothing unusual. Due to a severe shock, 1 a.m. and 2 a.m. This? It's either this or the cabin thing. Oh, it's not this. You have quite an Oh no, I lost a star. And certain something is missing from the scene. Oh, is it the bell? Because if it was an accident, why would half the bell be in her room? Is it this? Yeah. Falling over? Yes, that's right, if you think of it that way. That was really the case. What, Nathan? What? The bell. Yes. Wastepaper bin. Yes. Yeah, why was the other half here? Okay. Follows. You must have been there in order to retrieve the other half of the bell and bring it back. It's the only possibility. Person present at the scene. Rubbish. Another person? You say we already knew. What do you mean, sir?
Nathan, what are you watching?
With me, dude.
Yeah.
We've heard it for a while now, Nathan. We were just assuming it wasn't mean at first, or at least I was, and then it just kept going. And I was like, bruh.
All in order to frame me sound asleep inside the wardrobe for this crime, but
Imagine enjoying League of Legends and not being considered an actual war criminal.
Still laughing about how some guy named Mr. Tickles222 is trying to argue politics in a Wither square.
Nice.
Like, how do you end up with that name? Like, I'm
what?
gonna be honest.
What?
How do you end up with the name Mr. Tickles22?
Yeah, what? Where did this snake go?
Dude,
This girl was
after
originally
you
daughter
watch.
of Seaman.
I don't know
Ooh,
what I'm watching.
not really.
How intriguing. Ah, you call it the locked cabin. Unfortunately, it wasn't a locked cabin because the ship had a sharp turn in the middle of the
Watching
night.
Lego SFM, Niven.
Lego SFM? What?
I mean, not Lego SFM, Lego Stop Motion.
Why not?
Dude, Lego stop motions were the shit.
Yeah, I know. I didn't know it was still relevant.
Of course
I thought it
it
was
is.
just
Why
irrelevant
wouldn't
in
it?
the past.
Why wouldn't it be relevant?
I
Lego.
don't know.
Like,
But it's not impossible by any stretch of the imagination. What? Yeah, it is possible if the ship
Chat
makes
looks
it.
funny.
I could latch it shut without ever so touching it once. And right now, this cabin holds a trace of that very method.
dude, why do
You're
my
right, think
nails
of
have
one way.
nails on them? Okay, fine.
Yes, after all, we both witnessed it. Kindly point that out for us. Where's the proof that suggests that the door was locked from the outside? Has to be this. Where is it? Oh, I just present. Let's look at the bookshelf. They're scattered over. I'll then turn the emergency stop, and the stop pushes everything to one side. Such it would only be natural that a couple of small items would topple over. If I recall correctly, that would be due to the item's inertia. As usual. Yeah, of course, she has everything in that one book.
Is the Buga Wisdom.
is small and lightweight. Last night after the incident had occurred. Oh, it's sideways. The ship pulled over for an emergency stop.
Who pulled the emergency stop?
The ship had an emergency stop. Although everything is neatly put back together by now. That's why right after I entered this room,
Stopping for an emergency.
fallen over the exact same way as in Asogi's room. What do you say to that, Nikomina? Asses Claire, stop, ridiculous. Or are you implying the culprit is one of the ship's engineers? Oh, come now, the matter's nothing that complicated, my fellow. What? It's even on the walls of the corridor. Check out the emergency alarm. This button is to be pushed, is clearly written on the hallway. Buttons are installed on the ship to allow the crew to issue emergency warnings. Such a fascinating button, just begs to be pushed at least once or twice. Oh, he's looking away. When that button is...
Isn't that like an actual felon?
Yeah,
10,000 years in jail.
just like earlier. Oh,
Just like earlier, when I was in prison for 10,000 years. For pushing a fucking button.
The original Nebuchadnezzar sent him to jail.
my belief is that buttons exist for the sole purpose of being pushed.
Is that actually
Oh
what
my God.
What?
Do they actually say that in the game?
Are you not looking at it? That's exactly what he said.
Players.
That's exactly what he
That is-
said.
Jeremy, that's exactly what he said.
Yeah. I will report this to Captain. Be ready for punishment. Calm down, my friend. Why don't we postpone that to a later time? Let me just push some buttons real quick. This ship was made an emergency stop. The cabin's latches would lock themselves. And so, there's but one question to ponder next. That would be, of course, last night after his incident. Did the ship make an emergency stop? What do you think? Do you think there was an emergency stop? Last night there was some kind of emergency stop made by the ship, and I might be able to prove that it happened at the very least. Really? The ship made an emergency stop. Maybe it's, I mean, it has to be this. You were on security lookout for the first class cabin area, right?
I can't wait for the next Ace Attorney game, the sequel, Phoenix Wright Super Robot Wars.
Wow, it's the one where the Super Robot Wars characters get murdered, and then they gotta figure out which robot did it.
How will that even work? You figure out which pilot.
Yeah, but like you have to also to figure out which robot they were using, and then they both get sent to prison or something.
I played that.
Obviously, there's nothing unusual.
Daitarn was drunk and like murdered a Gundam. Like
Daitarn was drunk and he committed mass genocide.
actual war crimes.
Something important enough to cause someone to even forget the ever so important ship's log. To be honest, I also seem to have trouble believing that such a thing could have happened. But why, and why is that? Well, just think about it. In matter of circumstances, certainly we would have noticed it. That is true. After all, we just had a taste of that emergency stop ourselves. So how did no one notice it? Well, you certainly have a point there. Have you all noticed the throbbing as well? What?
Throbbing.
Your heads.
Whoa. Throbbing voice.
Everyone has noticed the throbbing. My head has been feeling very heavy all morning, she says. As I suspected, it's been the same for everyone. Which means there was an emergency stop.
They're poisoned.
Everyone's head is
That's for
throbbing.
shit.
Jeremy, they're poisoning me. Ha 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 ha, funny.
What?
I don't know. Hearing the word poisoned is funny.
Yes, much to my shame. Stowaway shouldn't have been receiving meals. How did you come by your meal? Oh, that, yeah. You know, Sogi shared just a bit of his meal with me. If memory serves, the meal last night was roasted chicken.
Mmm, tasty. Tasty. Mmm. Damn it, now I want curry again.
Dang, roast chicken.
Let that hurt, bro. Just roast them.
Bruh. Thanks for this information, Jeremy. I will use
You're
it.
welcome.
Exactly.
Life freaking lifesaver.
When eaten, you would be lulled into a sweet sleep.
Or just plant some and use some bone meal on it.
They put sleeping drugs in the chicken? What?
Man, I can't believe I've been so stupid all this time. I could just grow the chicken, bruh.
Exactly. Absolute fool.
I'm sorry, Nebuchadnezzar.
Forgiven.
Goodness. Never.
Ne- ne-
Yeah.
Nebuchadnezzar.
My day be so funny.
Does it be so fine?
Then yeah.
Do it be so? Do it really be so fine? Find out next time on. Wait, what show is this again?
I like how these guys have a lot of emotion.
Yes, it is pivotal for character development, Joseph.
They should do this for Pokemon games. Say, last night's chicken was drugged heavily.
Why would they drug the freaking chicken?
Because they were trying to assist the defection.
Drug the chicken.
Not really sure why they heavily drugged the chicken, though.
Has to be
Heavily.
anger, you know?
It's not just drugged, it's heavily drugged.
Yeah, it's heavily drugged.
What the heck is wrong with you? Drugging freaking chicken. I just want to enjoy some curry. What is their curry chicken? They drug like chicken. What the hell is wrong with them? They will get my vengeance one way or another.
Incredible drowsiness and went to sleep.
Grabu country
All the passengers were in their own cabin. And doors shut, and that is why not a single soul noticed anything unusual. Or for the sake of shutting merely one latch on the ship, the culprit forced the SSL Claire to make an emergency stop.
An emergency stop. Whoa. Imagine stopping.
That there was a third party present at the crime scene. For the purpose of framing someone else, they left a message in Russian on the floor.
Funny.
No one can just deflect the ace attorney's flash.
Alright, that's it.
That's it, what? Max. What? In truth, I am of the same belief. What is seen by one's own eyes is everything. Master Naruhodo, can you hear it? The cries of confession reverberated throughout the ship. Cries of confession? I'm sorry, I'm afraid I don't
Is
know.
he actually saying? I don't understand his freaking dramatic nonsense.
Vocabulary is too big. Stems from observation. You still make no sense. What is your point? Exactly. What is your point?
No sauce. Head empty.
Autopilot. What on earth is this? It's just as I've said, we are going to observe them. Really? We're just going to look at them. That's it?
He's ink. Call me ink. Lock up ink.
The moment when Kazuma passed away, some individual had tampered with various things at the crime scene. Trace of that happening. Correct. Yes, that is correct.
Yeah, it's called like I don't know what it's called actually.
Got it. I'll give it a shot. Third party at the scene.
I'm kind of retarded.
We're just going to watch them? Is what? Is there something around here? Traces of there being a third party at the scene. Oh! Of course, it's always in the back. You have a purple stain on your white uniform.
Is strong enough?
What?
That man is strong enough.
Strong enough? Mr.
That is my only character trait.
I am strong.
I'm strong in Russian. Laugh now.
Would you have to know anything about that stain? Yes, please. Enlighten us.
Journey God.
Oh no.
Jerry committed. Jeremy.
I believe it's obvious what his true identity is. Exactly. Well then, kindly present that piece of evidence, would you?
Not on the voice chat room.
Points towards their true nature is.
I still believe that all attorneys are just six dudes in a Discord call.
Yes.
We've established this.
Yeah, we've established this. It's gotta be, yeah.
Yeah, but like some
It's
people
the
still might not know.
yeah.
Is that out of opinion?
Ink? It is ink. Of course it's ink. Meaning behind that? Purple ink.
Money about
Ink had dried, then it would have been impossible for it to stain. Therefore,
Where is my money? I need my money. Bro, $48. Dollar for so many years and you never give me dollar. Give me my dollar back. Stupid blocky.
Mitrov is okay. I do the talking. Oh no, I accidentally killed someone.
Accidentally? How?
How? How?
It's fine.
Where? Man, we need to get Daniel in one of these.
Truth. What happened in the cabin exactly was, she said. Kitten ran into a Soki's cabin through the air duct.
Who's Daniel? There's no Daniel here. No Daniel in our group chat. Imagine being named Daniel. What? Who's Daniel?
Was there she found the victim's corpse. What?
Oh yeah, it is better.
By the time you visit Kazuma's cabin,
It's Cosmos Cabin.
Kazuma's cabin. Yeah. Yes, it is right. That must be the truth, right? Ha ha ha! It's not.
Why are you laughing? Huh?
This is something I took
This
myself.
is not a funny matter.
Death was fractured cervical instant. As that kid unfortunately caught his feet and tripped him. However, if that was indeed the case, then I'd like you to take a look at this photo. Somehow I feel there's an unnatural element present in it. He died.
There's a fucking unnatural element in literally everything.
Haha. His neck was broken. It's not just him, right? Come on. Is it not him? No? It's not? Open your eyes first, you stupid idiot. Well, I did. I opened my eyes. I don't know what you're talking about. What do they want me to present? Let's see. Dang, I'm down to 3 stars. Those Russian letters at the end of Cosmo's fingertip. That is nothing but the culprit's fabrication. There's somewhere else you got to look. Try to imagine the scene. The victim suddenly tripping and falling over. Hands would have been positioned. Oh!
Bro.
Is it his hand?
Luke tastes very good. I like the taste of Luke.
Yeah, it's his hand. His hand would be open instead of a fist. When they were to fall, their hand would naturally be open. Despite that, the victim's left hand was clasped firmly in a fist, almost as if he was holding something inside.
He was holding Naruhodo's secret dildo collection. He was gonna go show it to the girl, be like, haha, look, this is funny.
Oh, it's a earring. Definition of observation, you see. Truth will soon be clear to all. Observation. Simoon in his grasp must have come from somewhere. Yeah, I know where it came from. There was an ear that was missing an earring. here. Your ear. Thin chain had snapped off. Plus the other ear. Crescent moon is there. But how? Furthermore, the crescent moon was discovered in the victim's hand. One conclusion. Yeah, when she was there, he was still alive. Before he fell onto the ground. So in other words, last night in an instant, you were standing right in front of him. You must know what I mean. The earring
Really
was.
like killing everyone in this game, huh?
Then why? Why did Asoki done something like that? This time you'll have to face the music. Nobody can protect you. Last night, what did you do? What did you do? Ah. Of course, they always get blown to bits.
What did you do? How could you?
Too many things
Could
happen.
you do?
Run from.
How? Why? How could? This is an actual working in.
When Kitty run into air duct, I turned pale,
He feels better for Xbox games.
but Kitty just would not come back. Unfortunate.
Good for you to fucking victory.
Always spitting down, always wishing.
CC is epic like that, man. Epic gamer. All the chance. You omni retarded. The Omnitrix from Ben 10 accepts poggers, so we call it Omnipods.
Dang, Rammus is really not a good jungler. He's
Zed
only
is really a good one for OP.
Zed, yeah. Rammus is only good against specific things. I'm gonna start
Kitty
secondary.
jumped out of my arms
I'm gonna
and
start playing
run to the
secondary
exchange
Rammus.
student's feet.
I'm only playing
And then
Rammus when it's a AD jungler. And I'm playing Warcraft for now. And I'm playing Aluhar for free. In case I don't get jungle somehow. I'm not high enough to get jungle. I always get jungle. That's how you play it.
I accidentally went backwards.
Yeah, and also your shadow guy was not exactly outside of the thing.
No, that's because she wasn't exactly where I could be outside of the thing. Still down there.
Overall, good play. I like the guy. He's not bad. He didn't get the hit off. Very bad play. Really bad play. Wasting his shadow to come back. Bad play walking in. Can't get worse. That's how you flash.
ha ha.
It is better.
It's better than Ezreal because
It's
Ezreal can go
actually faster than that.
yeah, it's faster than Ezreal and it's better because you can flash there than flash back.
Hi.
Also you can do this, and then it's like young. Like this.
Hmm, hmm, hmm.
I don't think it would.
Unfortunate. The strange seal back on the door.
I think there's a time limit. I mean, there's a distance. I saw the arrow go from blue to orange and then to disappear.
Green.
It went from blue to yellow and then it disappeared. So you can't be too close. See, it's blue and then it's yellow and then it's green. Yeah. So
It's orange
Picked
because you
up
can't
glass
dash
shards.
quickly.
yeah, yeah.
Oh ho, did you? But my room was
Oh,
so
it's Mr.
dark.
Jinx.
Very
For
good.
this, I returned Princess to cabin and added
He's
final
very
touches. So you push
scientific.
the alarm button along the
It's a Gamers
corridor.
update.
Yeah.
That is correct.
Okay.
That's W's one of the
Thus, the
best moves.
SS All Clear resorted to an emergency
Yo.
stop,
You wanna do
thereby
that move?
completing the creation
Only
of our
two people can
locked
do that. You
room.
can do the young. You
Yes.
can attack with it. Like what? You
This
can
guy
do the
scripted
edging.
me.
You can do the
Could I have a word with you?
echo.
Wait, this guy
Last
scripted me?
night, he looked as if he was going to notify the captain,
They made
therefore
it
you
look like
pushed him.
they didn't have
Said to
any
yourself, right?
yeah.
But hypothetically speaking, if you rang the bell to call the captain, every single sailor on the ship is an ally of yours, right? What reason would you have to worry?
He can attack with his W using Q or
The
E.
first thing that exchange student had said to me struck me with fear.
Echo's ultimate
What?
should be his dash.
I think Rourke's best move is his E.
Echo's ultimate should be his dash. Cause
Yeah.
that's cause in the cinematic he infinitely ults.
Yeah, he should. Yeah.
And
He should
his
learn
dash
how
is
to.
like pretty broken, so
He should be more like a young champion, like where he just keeps going back instead of dashing forward.
more like
He died. He
yes.
died.
Worth.
It was worth. 1 for 2. Young moves. That's gonna help you escape.
Nurtread's not magic, but it's really good for his skills. This is broken, it's
This is swiftness plus
magic
magic.
and
It's likely he was trying to go for
Wisdom
the
ability is also good and
wardrobe.
lucidity. I think lucidity is one of the best ones. Wisdom abilities and it's not that good, but lucidity and rope charge
that's
are
so
worth.
worth.
Yep. 1 for a turret plus 2.
So where the two people die?
Need of one last reasoning session. Another reasoning session? Oh boy.
It's actually confusing.
What did he really try to do in that moment?
What's the X's on the map?
I didn't want to steal, so I think
Just what he
he
could
threw
have
stuff at
done.
me.
Could he have done? Oh, did you guys notice Michael is here?
I didn't want to steal. But he didn't get it, so I don't know. In fact, I'm just gonna be steal
Wait, also,
if
now
I
there's
lose.
Clearly
something.
remember anything about that cabin. Even if I was crabbed within that wardrobe,
Because
I still spent practically my entire voyage in that cabin.
especially since he's like a round tailor.
Yes.
He has movement speed in that kind of situation. Good game.
So close.
Didn't realize. And in order to bring that truth to light,
He just inted a lot. Like nothing happened, he just inted.
Soki turned his
Yo,
back to
we got
Nikomina. This is what lay in his line of sight.
Alright, we got this.
This.
And egg. I'm right. Literal look. Okay.
Since circumstances last night, it's true that it would have been appeared if he was trying to call the bell, yeah. However, it's likely he was trying to go to the wardrobe. Wow. Unfortunate. Thus, the curtains lowered quietly on the incident involving the SSL Claire. And in the next chapter, or case, we will be in the Great British Empire. Oh, the devastating, horrifying experience. No Southern Nebuchadnezzar, uh, and a whole bunch of new people who are going to die. Great British detective plans to negotiate with the immigration office on that matter.
Yo, that was so worth. I died for for me to get a shutdown and the Drake and steal the Drake. I literally one shot this.
Prepare for disembarkment soon. Yeah, we're arriving in Hong Kong, guys. All that aside, we're going to Hong Kong. Yeah, woo! Ah ha ha! Yeah! Ha ha! Said we shall return to the cabin. And that's the end. Cool. Now it feels like a far off memory. I can hear someone sobbing. Oh, she's crying over his death. Unfortunate. Oh, it's a sword. Hmm.
I have to go.
Oh no. Well, that's it for this episode anyway, so see y'all next time.